Episode 3, Veil of Sparks. The Snake River's current churned under a sky bruised with storm clouds, its banks fringed with reeds and the rusted bones of a riverside mill. Inside, the group huddled among dust-choked machinery, the air thick with tension. Lila Voss stood over Mira Hensley, her voice a low growl. "You traded flared lives for scraps. How do we trust you now?" Mira, her face pale under grime, clutched her bandaged shoulder. "I was starving," she said, eyes pleading. "I'll prove I'm with you." Taren Cole sat cross-legged, sketching a vision. A militia lab, flared captives, and a man cloaked in shimmering light. "He's close," Taren said, his hands trembling. "But so are they." Jace Navarro, throat wrapped in gauze, kicked a crate, his glare fixed on Kael Wren, whose face flickered subtly, betraying nothing. Dr. Ilara Quinn, rifling through their gear, froze. "A tracker," she whispered, holding a blinking device. "They've been following us." A drone's hum pierced the silence, its red eye scanning the mill's broken windows. Lila raised her hand, telekinetically lifting a steel beam to block the entrance, but her knees buckled, a trickle of blood staining her lip. Jace's hum built, but before he could unleash a sonic blast, the drone's light warped, bending into a blinding flash. A figure, Soren Blake, lean, with weathered features and gray eyes, stepped from the shadows, light rippling around him like a mirage. "You're flared," he said, voice rough. "So am I. I bend light, illusions, bursts, whatever keeps me hidden." He gestured at the disabled drone. "You're loud. They're coming." Flashback, pre-storm. Kael in a dimly lit bar, slipping wallets from Marks with a charming grin. His face shifts, mimicking a stranger to evade pursuit. Post-storm, he watches a flared executed, his eyes hardening with purpose. Soren led them to a hidden cellar, his light bending cloaking their path. "I don't do groups," he said, but Taren's sketch of him softened his resolve. "You saw me save you," Soren muttered. Taren nodded, his visions sharper, but his head throbbing. "They're building a weapon from flared powers near here." Ilara, studying the tracker, added, "It's interfering with our abilities. I can't heal properly." Mira, desperate to prove herself, slipped outside, spotting a militia drone operator. Her eyes glowed, her voice smooth. "Tell me about the weapon," she commanded. The operator, dazed, described a lab harvesting flared energy into a device, powered by a flared named Veyra. Lila's jaw clenched, but she squeezed Mira's arm, a fragile truce. At dawn, they crept toward a militia base, a fortified warehouse by the river, its walls bristling with antennae. Soren's illusions cloaked them as civilians, but Kael's shift into a militia captain drew Jace's ire. "You're too comfortable lying," Jace hissed, his voice cracking. Kael smirked, but his eyes flicked to the horizon. Inside, they found a lab, flared captives strapped to machines, their powers siphoned into a glowing orb. Lila telekinetically shattered a cage, freeing a captive, but her vision blurred, objects slipping from her grasp. Taren's vision guided them to the orb, but alarms blared. Jace's sonic blast toppled a guard tower, blood seeping through his bandages. Soren's blinding burst scattered pursuers, but burns marked his hands. Ilara tried to heal a captive, her glow failing, her face ashen. Mira, infiltrating the control room, influenced a tech to shut down security, but a guard's blade slashed her arm. Lila's debris shield saved her, and Soren's illusion hid their retreat through a loading bay. Kael, shifting forms, led them to the river, but Jace grabbed him. "Whose side are you on?" Kael's face steadied, his voice low. "The one that survives." The freed captive, a trembling teen, gasped. "Veyra. She absorbs powers. She's using us to build a weapon." They fled, the warehouse's floodlights fading behind them. In a riverside grove, Mira's arm bled through Ilara's weak healing. Soren, reluctant, agreed to stay. "I've lost too many to trust," he said, but Taren's sketches swayed him. As they rested, Taren's vision struck. Veyra, her hands crackling with stolen energy, activating the orb. Its pulse rippled, draining flared powers across the region. The group's faces paled, their own abilities flickering. "She knows where we are," Taren whispered, his sketchbook showing their camp in flames.